In today's video, we get to see angels in space and an elusive spacecraft. But first, let's find out what these astronauts experienced at the dark side of the moon. Number 10. Moon music. Apollo 10's purpose was to orbit the moon and study the dark side of the moon, paving the way for mankind's enormous leap. Unfortunately, all contact was lost as the team reached the dark side of the moon and was no longer visible to the space stations. They started hearing odd music and loud whistling sounds.
You hear that whistling sound?
The noises were described as outer space music by the two astronauts, Eugene Curran and John Young, who were recorded at the time. Despite being calm and composed, both astronauts claimed to be terrified when they orbited the moon's dark side. The astronauts involved never revealed this mission detail publicly, preferring to keep the experience to themselves in order to harden their mindset and prove their confidence in the face of the possibility of being grounded by NASA. Ultimately, the music heard during the Apollo 10 mission remains a mystery. Number 9. SpaceX UFO. Something nearly collides with 4 astronauts aboard the SpaceX capsule as they launch from the rocket on a 6-month research mission to the International Space Station. An unidentified object appears to fly by them in between the rocket and the capsule. The object is small, nearly coin-like in shape, but thicker, and spins at amazing speeds as it passes the spaceship. People initially thought it was debris from the rocket that had become detached and nearly hit with them. Even in slow motion, the object could not be identified as a component of any detached element of the rocket. Based on how it appeared, some analysts believe it was a bit of ice from the liquid oxygen in the rocket. Nevertheless, there have been no official statements from SpaceX about the topic. Several people were surprised that this was not taken seriously and received a short, quiet treatment from the space stations concerned. If this was actually an uncontrollable piece of ice, it would have been a close call for the 4 astronauts on board. The astronauts eventually made it to the International Space Station in safety. However, rather than sharing the exciting occurrence that had nearly occurred, all mention of the unusual floating ice was kept secret. Number 8. Apollo 16 sighting. The crew of NASA's Apollo 16 mission, the 5th successful moon landing, briefly filmed the unidentified flying object in 1972. An alien object appears to travel over the moon as seen through the window of NASA's Command Module spacecraft. Some have characterized the UFO as a saucer-shaped object with a dome top, according to the US Space Agency. Astronauts John Young, Thomas Mattingly, and Charles Duke began their return from the moon to an April 27, 1972 splashdown. And at that time, they were able to film an object that resembled a Hollywood version of a spaceship from another planet. The UFO was captured on a 16mm video camera and appears in approximately 50 frames of the tape. The object was visible for about 4 seconds through the command module's window. However, the brief appearance was enough to pique the interest of alien enthusiasts. NASA's study of the alleged alien UFO, on the other hand, is guaranteed to disappoint many ET enthusiasts. According to NASA, the object is not an alien UFO, but an EVA lighting boom protruding from the command module. But is it really? Or is NASA simply just trying to hide the truth? Nobody knows for sure. Number 7. Black Knight. Videos of the claimed leaked clip of the Black Knight UFO following the International Space Station closely have surfaced online. To some, the video appears to show a spacecraft, but to others, it appears to be a massive piece of debris. This footage was allegedly captured with the ISS cameras while waiting for supplies to arrive. The Black Knight, as if hiding from satellite detection with a cloaking device like Batman, has been spotted multiple times in the past by other recordings taken by astronauts while performing routine repairs on the ISS. The object appears to fly in an unusual spin around the planet from pole to pole. NASA issued a formal statement about the video stating that it was a thermal blanket and showing images of the thermal blanket. However, it was instantly contested by conspirators since the movement and speed of the thermal blanket did not match that of the object in the video and did not appear to be exactly similar. People are beginning to doubt the credibility of such an elusive thermal blanket as more footage of the same Black Knight emerge. Number 6. Light UFO? There appears to be an object in this footage that arrived unexpectedly in the horizon and quickly vanished in plain sight just above the Earth's surface. Many people who witnessed the live broadcast immediately assumed it was a UFO sighting, since it started out small and gradually grew larger. An official statement was promptly issued, claiming that the alleged UFO encounter was simply a reflection of light on the space station's windows or from the space station itself. However, many people are skeptical of this theory. If it was genuinely merely a reflection of light, why did NASA feel the need to cut the live stream short again? It would have been much more credible if they had simply ignored the sighting and continued with their broadcast. When something appears on the screen at any time, they have been known to quickly hide it or shut down the broadcast entirely. Only this time, those in charge of watching the broadcast were slower to filter and halted in time. We can only hypothesize and seek to find answers whether this was actually something beyond our mind's grasps or simply a very precise reflection of light. Number 5. Red Rectangle Nebula. For nearly 30 years, scientists have been perplexed by HD 44179, a star encircled by a peculiar rectangular-shaped nebula. Nebulas, or clouds of gas and dust, occur often around stars nearing the end of their lives. Astronomers were baffled as to what was producing the nebula's unusual shape. The cloud is not rectangular, according to a new image of the red rectangle, which is the most precise image yet. It's formed like an X, with luminous gas streams that line up like rungs on a ladder. What gives this nebula its unusual appearance? Astronomers assumed that molecular forces within the cloud were responsible for the cloud's unusual structure in 2007, but thanks to this comprehensive Hubble Space Telescope image, scientists now have a new insight into what might be impacting its formation. A nearby star and a clump of dense material could be causing the nebula to extend out like that. The star will eventually run out of fuel and become a white dwarf, generating massive amounts of ultraviolet light. Number 4. Aron. After completing the Pluto exploration mission, New Horizons successfully flew around Pluto and entered the Kuiper Belt in 2016. New Horizons detectors captured a mystery cosmic body 145 kilometers in diameter on its route into the Kuiper Belt. This is something that humanity have never discovered before, according to ground personnel. The scientists on the ground gave it the ominous name Aron after the Celtic god of death, war, revenge, and terror. The ground team noted Aron's unusualness after New Horizons spotted it, because it appeared to be illuminated for a while. Then the lights went out, resulting in light and dark interlacing quite rhythmically. Soon after, the scientists discovered that this small celestial body rotated at an estimated 80 kilometers per hour and required 5.5 hours to complete a full round. However, during a key moment of observation, New Horizons unexpectedly crashed, and the backup host took too long to restart, causing them to lose contact with the probe. The backup host of New Horizons was activated just as ground people were unable to do anything about the loss of New Horizons. However, New Horizons was unable to locate Aron. Aron had vanished, leaving mankind with an unsolved mystery. And with that, it's now time for today's best pick. In today's photo, we have an unidentified object that looks like it has wings. What could this mysterious thing be? Well, find out more about it next. Number 3. Angels in Space. Russian cosmonauts aboard the Soviet space station Salyut 7 were on day 155 of their mission in July 1984. This was also the day that the group reported weird lights and entities. The space station was entirely enveloped in a dazzling orange light, according to Commander Oleg Atkov and cosmonauts Vladimir Solovyov and Leonid Kizin. It appeared to invade the space station from the outside and bleed through an impenetrable wall. The orange glow was so brilliant that it temporarily blinded the crew. When their vision returned, they each searched out the portholes for the source of the light, looking specifically for an explosion. They were aware that the Salyut 7 had previously experienced flames, but what the crew witnessed was even more perplexing than the orange glow. The cosmonauts all reported seeing the faces of 7 angels floating outside the space station. They claimed them to be humanoid in appearance, but they possessed wings and halos. These creatures followed the space station for 10 minutes before disappearing. They were said to be the size of an airliner by the cosmonauts. The old Soviet Union classified this occurrence as top secret, and the crew was advised not to discuss it publicly. Number 2. Tabby's Star. A star more than 1,000 light-years away has baffled astronomers since it was discovered in data collected by the Kepler mission. KIC 8462852 is 50% larger than our Sun and 1,000 degrees hotter. It is now widely known as Tabby's star, after Tabitha Boyajian, an assistant professor in the Department of Physics and Astronomy at Louisiana State University. It's an F star, which is expected to keep its brightness steady. That's why the long and short variations in its illumination made no sense. The logical conclusion was that something was obstructing it. Fellow astronomers proposed a swarm of planets or perhaps an alien megastructure. According to Boyajian, the Kepler data suggested that the star's brightness declined by up to 22%. If planets were involved, more than 50 of them would have to be perfectly positioned and, quote, marching in front of the star to cause such a decrease. So what's the most likely reason for the dips? The star's light is most likely dimming and brightening due to dust. Dust is found everywhere in the universe, so astronomers are familiar with its signal, according to Boyajian. However, this discovery merely raises more questions. Where is the dust? How did it form? And why is it in front of the star? Only time and continued observation will tell. Number 1. Mysterious lights. A live video from the space station revealed a group of bright lights, and this has concerned people. An anonymous Redditor posted a screen recording of the International Space Station live stream footage to the Reddit thread r/UFO. The user posted the video along with a caption asking anyone to explain what they just saw on the ISS YouTube live feed. Various people commented on the post, ranging from those who say it might be aliens and others giving more normal answers. One commenter stated that the lights are probably coming from fleets of squid fishing boats. These vessels utilize extremely brilliant artificial lights to attract their catch, and they've even caught out alien hunters in the past. See you all next time.